Assalamualaikum and a good day. I'm Asyraf bin Khalid, matrix number B0920104426, and my teammate Jeremy HILMAN bin ROZALI B0920100132. We from BMMV section 1/1. Today we will discuss about Type 5, basic logic gates, truth table, and circuit analysis. The operation and explanation. Let me explain you about this lab. The purpose of this lab is to investigate the logic gate operation. By using the multi-sim software, we could detect the operation of logic gates. And finally, at the end of this lab, we could easily understand the logic gates operation and the circuit analysis. The operation of the lab. We will use multi-sim software to construct and run the circuit by referring to the circuit in the lab sheet, and we observe and record the data. As you know, all IC used in the experiment is TTL IC, 40 pin as VCC supply and 7 pin as ground. We also use LED as the output indicator. So if the LED is light up, that means the output is 1, and if the LED is turned off, that means the output is 0. After doing the experiment by using multi-sim software, we also need to identify the logic gate type. And lastly, we need to do the Boolean expression to get the output in Boolean expression. So we can prove that the experiment data is similar or correct. Now let's we go to the simulation. The circuit I'm showing you now is the circuit for IC 7408. The component that we need in this circuit is the supply voltage VCC, ground. We need a single pole double throw switch. We need two of them. 7408 IC, and lastly a probe or LED. You can choose whatever color you want as the output indicator. To run the circuit, firstly we need to press the play and run button, and as in the lab sheet, they firstly need the input for A and B is to be 0. So as input A and B 0, the output also 0. As the probe is not light up, then the B input is 1, the output is 0. The input of A 1, the output is 0. And lastly, the input of A and B 1, and the output is 1. Now, let me see the 7432 IC circuit. The component that we use is just the same like before. The difference is only at the IC that now we are using 7432 EC. To run this circuit, we need to press the play or run button. As we refer to the lab sheet, firstly, they need the input of A is 0 and B is 0. So we could get the output of the circuit is 0. Then we set the input of A 0 and B is 1. We could get the output is 1. Next, we set the input A to 1, B to 0, and we could get the output also 1. And lastly, we set the input of A and B to 1. We also could get the output 1. Don't forget to record your data. Now, let me see the 7404 IC circuit. The construction of the circuit is a little bit different from before, as the 7404 IC got only one input, so we just need one SPDT switch. And this is how the construction of the circuit looks like. To run this circuit, firstly we need to press the play or run button. As in the lab sheet, firstly they need the input to be 0 and we will get the output is 1. We place the input 1, we will get the output 0. Don't forget to record your data. Now let me see the 7402 IC circuit. In this circuit, the construction is just the same like before. We need two SPDT switch as the 7402 IC circuit have two input. To run the circuit, you just simply need to press the run and play button. As in the lab sheet, firstly, they need the input of A is to be 0 and B also to be 0, so the output we will get 1. Next, we need to set the input of the B to be 1, the A 0, and we will get the output is 0. Then we set the input of A to be 1, the B to be 0, and we will get the output is 0. And lastly, we set the both input A and B to 1, and we will get the output is 0. Now take a look at the 7400 IC circuit. This is the last circuit that I will show you. The construction of the circuit is just same like before. We just need to change the IC to 7400 IC. To run the circuit, we just simply need to press the play button. By referring to the lab sheet, firstly, they need the input of A to be 0 and B to be 0. We will get the output is 1. Then we will set the input B to 1 and the input of A0, we will get the output is 1. Next, we set the input of A to 1, the B0, we will get the output also 1. And lastly, we set both input A and B to 1, we will get the output is 0. Make sure to record all the data. Here is all of the data of the experiment that I already recorded. Let's take a look. After reviewing the data, now we could identify the type of logic gate for each IC type.
Okay, hi, my name is DHAREEMY HILMAN bin ROZALI with metric number B09201013. Okay, next for part B, which is combinational logic gates circuit analysis. For the procedure, first we obtain the Boolean expression of output Q as shown in figure 5.2. Next, we fill through in table 5.3 from expression that defined in the first procedure. And the last one, we analyze the combinational logic gates using multism software to prove our answer in table 5.3. Okay, so let's see here. We show figure 5.2 and table 5.3. Here are some combination of gates, which is NOT gates, AND gates, OR gates, and AND gates, and NOR gates. So here A, B, C, D is the input and the Q is output. So for an example, if we put the input 1 in each gates, so the output here will be 0, 1, 0, 1. So output at the OR here is 1, output AND is 0. So here 0, 0, here is 0, 1. So the output here is 1 and 0. So here the NOR gate. So the last result is 0. Okay, so let's see the simulation. Okay, here for the simulation, we start with 0, 0, 0, 0. So here the probe was not turned on. Next we go to 0, 0, 1, 1. So the probe was still not turned on. Next 1, 0, 1, 0. And the probe still giving the same result. And the last one 1, 1, 1, 1. So the probe still not turned on. So lastly, for the conclusion, at the end of the lab, we able to investigate the logic gate operation. Besides, we know how to construct logic gate circuit by learning it online medium. We also understand the operation of logic gate by using multism software. We also could identify the type of logic gate for each IC by referring to the experiment data. Lastly, we are able to prove the experiment data by doing the Boolean expression. That's all from us. Thank you.